Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this video, we'll be talking about the three rules for Meem As-Saakinah. Now, these rules are going to sound really familiar if you've already studied the rules of Nun As-Saakinah and Tanween, because we use the same words. However, instead of focusing on a Nun sound like we did with Nun As-Saakinah and Tanween, now we're going to focus on the Meem sound, and we're only going to focus on Meem As-Saakinah. So the three rules that we have for Meem As-Saakinah are al-ikhfa, al-idgham, and al-idhar. They still mean the same things. So for example, al-ikhfa still means to hide. Al-idgham still means to blend, to put something inside of something else. And al-idhar still means to make clear. Now, of course, what's going to be different is that while before we were talking about the noon sound, now we're going to focus on the meme sound, right? The first rule we're going to talk about is al-ikhfa for meme as-sakinah. Now, al-ikhfa, as you guys will remember from the rules for nun as-sakin and tanween, meant to hide the noon sound with a gunna. But instead, we're going to say hide the meme sound with a gunna, meaning to hold it for 2 counts. And then we said while getting ready to say the next letter. So while getting ready to say the next letter. All right, so that was the rule for al-ikhfa. For nun as-sakin and tanween, it was to hide the noon sound. For mim as-sakin, it's to hide the meme sound with a gunna while getting ready to say the next letter. Now, there's only one letter for al-ikhfa for mim as-sakin. Same thing with al-idgham. There's only one letter. And for al-idhar, it's just going to be the remaining letters, just like we did last time, where the last rule had all the remaining letters. So let's do some examples, right? So here we have a mim as-sakina with a ba next. And ba is the letter for al-ikhfa. Again, ba is the letter for al-ikhfa for mim as-sakina. So whenever we have a mim as-sakina with a ba after it, we're going to hide the mim sound while we get ready to say the ba. And of course, we do that with a gunna. So this is going to be Ya'tasim billahi. Now, some scholars say that you shouldn't close your lips entirely for the meme. Some say it is okay to do that. In this class, we're just going to teach that it's okay to close it because the ones who teach that you shouldn't close your mouth entirely, close your lips entirely, say that you should open them such a small amount, which is actually very, very challenging to do. It's a very difficult view to follow. So again, we're going to hold the meme sound for 2 counts. While we get ready to say the ba. Super easy to do. Why? Because meme and ba both come from the lips. They come from the same place. So again, ya'tasim billahi. You're going to hold that. You're going to hide that meme sound for 2 counts. All right, let's do 2 more examples. Inna. Now here we're holding the noon sound because anytime a noon has a shadda, you got to hold it for 2 counts, right? So here we have inna. Rabbahum. So here we have the ba after mim as-sakina. So we're going to hold the meme for 2 counts. Rabbahum. Again, we're going to hold it while we're hiding it and getting ready to say the ba. Rabbahum bihim. All right. And then here, again, we have a ba after mim as-sakina. We're going to hide the meme sound, right, for with a gunna for 2 counts while we get ready to say the ba. Hum bisahirati. Same thing here. Let's just add one more example. We're on a roll already. We have a ba after mim as-sakina. We're going to hide the meme sound with a gunna while we get ready to say the next letter. Ja'ahum ba'suna. All right. So now that's it. That is al-ikhfa for mim as-sakina. Now we're going to move on to the next rule for mim as-sakina, which is al-idgham. Now, al-idgham also has 1 letter. Just like al-ikhfa only had 1 letter for mim as-sakina, same thing. For mim as-sakina, al-idgham also only has 1 letter. And that letter is the meme. That's it. It's the only letter, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to write down the steps. And these steps, like I said, are going to sound really familiar. At least they should, if you remember the rules from Nun as-Sakin and Tanween. So what we're going to do is that we are going to skip the, now for Nun as-Sakin and Tanween, remember it was to skip the Nun sound. We're going to skip the meme sound. We're going to put a shadda on the next letter. Same thing, put a shadda on the next letter. We're going to hold for two counts. The exact same rules. The only thing that's different is that instead of the noon sound, it's the meem. So we're going to skip the meem sound, put a shadda on the next letter, and then hold for two counts. All right, so let's do that in action here. All right, so here we have, and again, the only letter for al-idgham for meem as-sakina is meem. So whenever we have a meem after meem as-sakina, we're going to follow these rules. All right, so here we have one. And what's the next letter? It's a meem. What does that mean? It means we're going to do al-idgham for meem as-sakina. So what does that mean? We're going to skip the meem sound, put a shadda on the next letter. And the shadda is already there, easy. And we're also going to do a ghunna. We're going to hold for two counts. So this is kun. Why is it kun? You see here we have one of the rules from Nuna Sakin and Tanween, that when we have a Nuna Sakina with a ta after it, we're going to do al-ikhfa for Nuna Sakina and Tanween, a rule we've already covered, which means we're going to hide the noon sound here with the ghunna while we get ready to say the next letter. That's why we're saying kun. All right, that's an old rule. So here's the rule now for Meem as-Sakina, al-idgham. We're going to skip the meem sound, put a shadda on the next letter, and we're going to hold it for two counts. Kuntum mu'minina. Now here's the thing that you guys might notice, is that we've already learned for both shadda and sukun that you connect them to the last letter that had a haraka. So in this case, the meem doesn't have a haraka we can see, so we wouldn't connect the shadda there anyway. We would still connect it to the ta. So even if you didn't know the rule al-idgham for meem as-sakina, you'd still be able to read this correctly because it still works within our rules that both sukun and shadda connect to the last letter before it that had a haraka. So in this case, the meem is going to connect to the ta. All right, so here we have another one. Fi qulubi him. So we have a meem as-sakina. All right, so there's going to be a rule. What's the rule? Well, we have a meem after, so it's going to be al-idgham for meem as-sakina. So we're going to skip the meem sound, shadda on the next letter, hold for two counts. Qulubihim maradun. Now, the thing here is, guess what? Right? Same thing that we said earlier. Anytime you have a shadda or sukun, you're already connecting it to the last haraka that you can see. So even if you didn't know this rule, you would still know that it connects to the ha. And we've already learned that whenever you have a noon or a meem with shadda on it, that you hold for two counts. So we didn't realize it, but we already learned how to read this, right? But again, I still want you guys to know the rules. It's still important to, because this is the way that Tajweed has been taught, and it also helps you understand even without looking at the kitab, as just recognizing that, oh, I have these two words here, there's a shadda there, that this is meem as-sakina. It's something that helps you read ultimately. All right, so let's do two more examples. All right, so here we have a meem as-sakina with a meem after it. Okay, so we're going to, we know that the rule is al-idgham for meem as-sakina. Skip the meem sound, shadda on the next letter, hold for two counts. So easy. The shadda is already there. All right. And again, for meem, whenever we have a shadda, we connect to the last haraka that we can see anyway. So we already know what we're gonna do, right? And meem and noon, when they have shadda, we hold for two counts. Ja'akum Musa. This is so easy, guys. All right, let's do one more just to lock it in. All right, so here we have a meem as-sakina. Meem after it, you already know that's the rules for al-idgham for meem as-sakina. We're going to skip the meem sound, shadda on the next letter, hold for two counts. The shadda's already there. And we already know whenever meem and noon have a shadda, you hold for two counts anyway. All right, so jaza'uhum maghfiratun. Again, جزاؤهم مغفرة. So easy. All right, now we have the final rule for meem as-sakina, which is al-idhar. Now, as we mentioned when we were doing the rules for noon as-sakina and tanween, al-idhar is the easiest rule because it means you just read it the way it looks. Well, here for meem as-sakina, what's different is that all the remaining letters fall into idhar. What does that mean? All that means is that whenever you don't have a ba or a meem after a meem as-sakina, you just read it the way it is, which is what we've already been doing. All right, so this is super easy. It means you're just reading it the way it is. All right. And I'm going to give you guys a big hint for that, right? Because here the sukun is actually visible, right? You can see the sukun, right? Whenever you can see the sukun, it's a sign. It's a sign that you're going to read it the way it is. All right. Whenever you can see the sukun, it's a sign that you're just going to read it the way it is. Same thing for nun as-sakina, the rules for nun as-sakina and tanween. So for al-idhar for mim as-sakina, you just read it the way it is. All right. So that's it. Those are the three rules for mim as-sakina. Again, they follow the same principles as the rules for nun as-sakina and tanween, except they're a lot simpler. All right. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment or just contact me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.